Can I clarify something?
Yeah.
Can I know in verse 8 and verse 7, the verse 8, the day refers to who? The first word.
Verse 8.
Verse 8, yeah. The day refers to who?
The people who instigated the making of the golden calf.
But your people whom you brought out of Egypt, does it refer to
Moses? No. The whole idea, that the whole construction here is this. God is angry with this people, and these are a group of people who came out of Egypt with Moses. Remember, when they came out of Egypt, not only Israelites came out of Egypt, there were Egyptians who came out of Egypt. And so,
I thought Israel is called your people. Because
no. This is Moses' people, right? So all of them that came out of Moses is now saying, this is God in anger speaking. Basically, the context is anger, right? And these are the people being described as people who wore rings around their ears, who were the men and the women, and these are not common Hebrew culture. In fact, these are all very common Egyptian culture. And so the idea here would be the ones who are instigating. So I would say that these are the ones who have instigated the Israelites to follow them.
But if the day refers to the non-Israelite in this case,
this would be the people who have instigated, as well as the Israelites who have joined them. All right? The Israelites actually did participate in this. Pastor, I'm not saying that they didn't, right? I'm not saying they didn't. Yeah.
Pastor, regarding the Aaron one, right. He didn't restrain them, but then God said in the verse 33, whoever has sinned against me, why did he not also punish Aaron straight away?
Because in the mind of God, you notice Aaron did not participate in the worship. Aaron made the calf, and thereby that was his problem, right? So in the eyes of God, Aaron did not bow down to the golden calf. But making the calf is actually a serious offense. And we'll see that later. And that is also being dealt with as well.
Oh.
Yeah. God is not leaving him out of the picture. So just that he is not instantly punished doesn't mean that he's not dealt with.
So when they went to the camp and killed all those who worship the calf, is it? When they killed the 3,000?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about verse 11 that says, your own people?
The Israelites, not all the people, the ones that God is angry with are also the Israelites.
So your own people in verse 11 are the Israelites or the non-Israelites?
Everybody.
So would this be the same as your people in verse 7?
No. In verse 11, when Moses pleaded against your people would strictly be the Israelites. God really doesn't have the Egyptians in mind yet. In the whole group, there are those who comply and those who don't. And these are the potential problem makers in the crowd, right? in the Israelite camp, basically. And they all came out of Egypt. So whenever you say your people, with regards to God's people, it has to be the 12 tribes and no more.
Verse 7, it is your God himself who said to Moses.
Moses' people. So Moses let all of them come out in that sense. So
because when he brought them out of Egypt, it's actually referring to the 12 tribes, right? Together with the mixed multitude.
no, you need to understand when whenever God brought them out of Egypt, your people is only the 12 tribes. But we also read in Exodus 12 and 13 that God, that the people that came out were also the foreigners. And the foreigners are the ones that seems to have instigated this problem. This is not Israelites starting it. The foreigners instigating and the Israelites participating.
But just now you said it's only by implication that it's non-Israelite.
Yes,
so
by implication.
From the text itself.
The text itself is not clear because the Israelites themselves do not start gods of Egypt. And so the implications is the people who gave the rings, remember, earlier on?
But it is not specific.
These are the implications, right? Broke off the earrings in their ears and from your wives, your sons, and your daughters. And by this, there's an implication that it appears to be non-Hebrew.
You mean the Hebrew does not wear the golden earrings?
No, Hebrews don't have rings for all these, right? The sons don't wear rings. These are all actually not just earrings. These are all earrings and nose rings. And so that's the implication. That's the implication. The Israelites had a lot of other gold as well. But in this case, this is a peculiar type of people. So this is by inference. That's all I'm saying, right? It's by inference.
So when they said in verse 1, he said, go and make us gods ahead of us, that is the golden calf.
Yes.
So it means it's the non-Israelite who asked
this
to make
instigating, yes.
the golden calf.
Yeah.
Then why should God be angry with the Israelites? Yeah,
because the Israelites joined them. The Israelites joined them to bow down to the gods. Now, how many of these Israelites bowed down to the gods? Then by inference, 3,000. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
By inference, 3,000.
Verse 28. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is, so you need to read in context. It's not everyone. It's talking about these group of stiff-necked guys, and the small ones will what we call it, will lead the bigger crowd to destruction if it is not, well, I guess you can say if you don't take off the cancer now, that the cancer will spread.
So the 3,000 will include the non-Israelite and the Israelites.
Yes. Now, we are not saying all the non-Israelites participated. I'm just suggesting that it's that kind of a background. And so whoever participated are the ones that were, well, slaughtered.
Okay.
Now, it is important for us to understand that why is God so particular? Why didn't God kill everybody? Well, everybody is party because the rest of them did not stop it. Which tells us one thing. Non-action is as guilty as the ones in action. And so God wanted to destroy all of Israel, remember, up in the mountain. And so God says, that is what he says, right?
Can we say that Aaron is the leader?
No. Not at all. Please do not read that. Aaron did not start this. The people came to see Aaron.
But he didn't, as the
He
leader.
didn't say no. Correct.
Yeah.
He didn't say no. So you can see what verse 25 here. that Moses saw that the people were let loose because Aaron did not control them. And by not controlling them, they put shame among their enemies. And this shame is about mocking that God was going to destroy them. And the Egyptians are going to laugh that all these Israelites are stupid people.
In verse 4,
Yep.
right, he received the gold from their hand and he fashioned it. Who is the he here?
Aaron.
So Aaron is the one who made the golden calf.
Aaron is the one who made the golden calf.
And they said
So
Israel.
He must have lied to say that he put the gold into the fire and it turned out to be a calf, and he is the one who engraved it and did it.
So it's not so much, it's the expression here. He put it into the fire and out it came, right? The engraving here appears to be not the chiseling of it, but more of a inscription. More of an inscription. Because the calf is actually molded in a mold. They already know how to make molded material. And so it is these people who said, not Aaron who said. So it's not Aaron who instigated, but Aaron did not stop them. And that is the problem.
So
he did not stop, but he suggested to them to bring and let's do it.
Yes, it appears, if you look at it from a technical background, is that Aaron would probably be afraid of the people. And so, because Moses is not around and Moses is supposedly dead, not coming back, don't know what happened to him. And Aaron is the next in line, basically, as recognized. And when people come and challenge you, and then he did not take leadership. And so that
God
was
is so
his fault.
merciful to him.
Well, God is not destroying him yet, but God had done it later as a punishment.
I think later part in the Torah, because Moses interceded for Aaron, I think that's why he was not punished.
Yeah. But he was still dealt with it, right? Dealt with it.
Yeah. So the day in verse 4, they say, Israel, here is your God. The day here refers to
where?
Verse 4.
Verse 4. They are the ones who went to see Aaron.
So the they here are the non-Israelite or Israelite?
I would say that this would be the non-Israelite. That's my opinion. This would be the ones who said to him, make us gods. Right? These are the same ones. I don't see Aaron participating in the golden calf worship or sacrifice, because the text kept Aaron out of that narrative, which means that they took the feast and the offerings that was meant for God and gave it to the golden calf instead. And hence that became an ultimate problem.
But then he broke commandment 2 that you should have not make any graven image.
Yes.
It.
I'm not making any excuses for Aaron. He is indeed wrong, but he had a different issue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had a different issue.
Okay. For verse 34, he said, I send my angel.
Yes.
You're saying it's a messenger.
Yeah, an angel. Angel means an angel. Angel means an angel.
In this case, it's an angel.
Yeah. You see, in the Bible, whenever God says, right? God says, I will. What he eventually does in the fulfillment is that he sends either his angel, his people, right? Moses, somebody will do that piece of work on behalf of God. But it is initiated by God. So understand that there is always these two things at play. God uses his creation, but it is him who makes that decision.
So this angel, does it have a name, or this is a spirit being?
It's an angel, one of the angels.
A spirit being.
Well, an angel is a spirit being now. An angel from heaven. Understand
so these people,
yeah.
So 3,000 died, but then on verse 34 and 35, God continue with a plague, a punishment, isn't it?
No. This one talks about this 3,000.
Only these 3,000 now.
Yeah, it's talking about the ones on top. Yeah. The 35 is actually like a concluding statement. This is what happened that day.
But you see, he got the Levites to kill the 3,000. Then he said, behold, my angel shall go before you, and I'll visit for the punishment upon them for their sin. So it looks as if he will come with...
Now you need to read this.
Yeah.
All of that above, God plagued the people, is the Levites, right? The Levites took the action on behalf of God. And so it's God's command, right? God told Moses, Moses told the Levites. And so the Levites act, and so it's God who is plaguing. That's number one. Number two, then it says here, God says, go lead the people to the place. Now you go ahead. Behold, my angel shall go before you, means in this journey to the promised land, the angel of God will lead the way. But actually, God has said that he is going to lead the way. But in actual fact, now God is now more specific that the angel will be sent to go before ahead of them. But in the day I will visit for punishment, I will visit punishment upon them for their sin. It is not for this sin, but in the future generations, they will continue to do idolatry and God will visit them. Remember, part of the 10 Commandments to the third and fourth generation?
Yeah.
That if they continue with this idolatry, well, God will come again. And that is what it means in the day, not that day, but in the future day. If this ever happened again in the land where God has given them. So you need to see the discussion. Yeah.
For verse 35.
Yeah.
Your version is the Lord plagued the people. My version says Adonai struck the people with a plague.
Yeah. The word plague is to strike, is to hurt. This word is plague is to strike, to hurt the people. So basically it refers to the slaying of the 3,000.
So the plague was done by the Levites.
Okay, understand one thing. The word plague is not our English meaning of the plague. Like, you get COVID. That's not, we have this modern day thinking, oh, God is going to send you some illness. That's not how the word is used. God is striking them, literally slapping you, killing you, chopping you, hurting you. That is the meaning of the word.
I see what you mean now. You're saying that he used the Levites to actually plague the people.
Correct. Okay. So like I said here, when God says, I will do this, he actually does it this way.
Okay.
It's a very important concept. Otherwise, we are reading it in a very modern way, and we'll lose the Hebrew expressions. Like the king says, I will do it, and then it's not the king who's going to get out of the throne. the king will send his trusted parties.
Coming back to the angel, because
Yeah.
the angel is a spirit being. So how are the people to know that the angel is there because it's a spirit being?
Don't read any more into it. This is basically giving them the confidence that God is still with them.
Yeah. It's not the cloud.
No. Don't look at it. The cloud and the pillar of fire is there until only before the Jordan.
Excuse me, Pastor, do you want to look at the chats?
Sorry. Did Aaron conduct sacrifices on the altar? No. What does it mean to blot out the name out of the Torah? Oh, okay. Sorry. I had mentioned this. Let's see, which verse is that? Okay. Verse 33. Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot him out of my book. Always look at this book as, okay, this is very hard to see. I would have to. Okay, never mind. Blot out of your book, I pray. Okay, and then this is and then God says, whoever sinned against me, I will blot him out of my book. So understand this, your book which you have written is this same book. It's all the same book. What has God written and what is God writing is the Torah, right? That is given to Moses to write. Remember just now I had mentioned, whenever God says, I'm going to do something, he is using his people to do something. And so who is writing the Torah? God is telling Moses to write, right? To write his commandments. And so in this writing, there is the narrative. So this is a narrative that Moses is saying, blot me out of your book. Why do you mean blot me out of your book? If you are not going to forgive these people, then I don't want to be mentioned in your book at all. That is what it means by rub off. Okay? God says it is important if I were to put you into this book as Israel, I can blot you out as well. And God says, no, only those. So God is now giving a principle. On a personal level, it is only the guilty party that has to pay. Moses is not the guilty party, but Moses was willing to give his life for his people. And so God says it doesn't work that way. If you have not done wrong, you don't have to pay the penalty. That's what we see here. Yeah.
Pastor, is it Moses, this book he wrote, is it one of the 5 books he wrote?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, another one thing, sir, sorry for interrupting. He said, though, the craft that grind to the powder and then burn it to the powder and then they grind it to pieces and scatter it
into the water.
And the Israelite to drink it. Is the Israelite drink it or the just the God, the figure of speech?
I'm not quite sure, but I think the Israelites would have drank it. I think it would have. I think it's a very visual imagery of a picture lesson, right? Of a picture lesson. It's very similar to burn some paper in ashes and drink it from the cup.
The last lesson you were said of 浮水, is that right?
But it's a picture lesson that you know that you have done something wrong and either you have participated or you didn't stop it, you got a problem. Does verse 33 apply today? Verse 33 here. Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot him out of my book. Actually, I'm going to tell you my part of my view of it. My view of it is this. This is a narrative of Exodus. And so out of my book is about Exodus and in this book of the law, okay, Torah. But the principle doesn't change, because in Ezekiel chapter 18, it says, the soul that sins, it shall die. And so the principle means this: God wants whoever is a guilty party to pay for what they have committed. God doesn't want a person like Moses, who didn't do it, to pay for the people. You see what I'm saying? Because in God's eyes, it's not fair, right? You haven't done it. Why are you paying for the people? I mean, you may have a good intention, but in God's mind, that is not just. So the only justice is, if you committed it, you die. And so and of course, in Ezekiel 18, right? If you have a chance, go back and read Ezekiel 18. It says that if you repent, God will forgive.
Pastor, amazing. Yeah. Verse 26 and 27, the Levites, I don't know how many number of them, but they went through the camp. The camp could be more than 650,000 or more, because
about a million people, yeah.
Yeah, a million there. And this small group of Levites, I don't know how, it's much smaller than 650K. They went through the camp to kill all those who committed the sin. How would they know? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how they were identified. But understand, this is a narrative, right? So we read one line after another. But obviously, it didn't happen like instantly. But we are just seeing it in our minds, the imagery as a video playback, how we can imagine it. How many sons of Levi is there? You have to read Numbers chapter 3. Numbers chapter 3 had a count of all sons of Levi of 1 month and above.
22,000.
Yeah. And so it's interesting. I can't tell you, because the narrative says this happened and that happened and that happened, but it doesn't have to be like instantly after one another. Something else must have happened, but it's not mentioned.
Oh, it's 22,000?
Yeah. No, that is a male. Yeah, those are men. Yeah, the sons of Levi. Yeah, correct.
1 month and over.
Yeah. So the idea here is, when you read a narrative like this, like in Exodus 32, it's a narrative, right? Now means and then Moses did this, right? And then he said this to them. So you see, this is all sequential, but do not assume that it is one after another exactly at that time. Things could have happened in between, but it is still the next thing that happened in this narrative. Do you follow what I'm saying? That is important for us to see. The English doesn't show, but the Hebrew is very clear.
Sorry, Pastor Ng, I want to ask a question. I'm a little confused here.
Yeah.
In verse 28, was Moses who commanded the Levites to kill, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I said Moses commanded, then later on you said the Lord, in verse 35, you said the Lord struck the people because of what they did. So if it's Moses who commanded the Levites to strike those, so why does the Lord punish those Levites then? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh, no. The God didn't punish the Levites. What do you mean? God did not punish the Levites.
Then you say in verse 35, the Lord struck the people with the plague. And the people you said is the Levites, right?
No. The ones who did the strike.
Who strike the Levites?
The Levites.
Okay. The one who strike are the Levites.
Yes, God used the Levites through Moses to strike the people. The people, when he says the people, in particular, of course, in general, in matter of speech, Israelites, right? But the specific ones who died were the ones who worshipped the golden calf.
So I was wrong. Just now I put the people as the Levites. So
no.
Sorry.
Yeah. So it is actually this word plague. The word plague means to strike. It does appear in some of your English translation, but the King James just like to use plague.
Okay, thank you.
So in this case, like you said that he struck the people, and it refers to Israelites. Would the mixed multitude be counted among the Israelites?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not all of them. I guess those are the ones that is party to the instigation and so on. Because later on, in the book of Numbers, we also saw these Egyptians instigating other things, like having meat.
Yes. Okay. Coming back to the book, in verse 33.
Yep.
Because earlier you said that my book only refers to Exodus, but earlier you said it referred to 5 books.
The Torah is the Torah. I'm saying that including this book, whatever is now written in Exodus is included in the book. Right? This is the 5 books. Because God commanded Moses to write everything in the 5 books.
So the my book refers to the 5 books that Torah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And including this chapter.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. So Moses is saying that I am prepared to be removed from all this. I mean, it's an incredible chivalry. But God doesn't want chivalry.